Something that really surprised me about pursuing our dreams, that is, the things that we truly want in life, is that they're not going to make sense to most people. In fact, I think you'll find that 1 in 10, if you're lucky, will fully grasp, or at least seem to fully grasp, what you're after when you're pursuing a dream. And you may find that frustrating at times, but we learn to move past that, because our dreams are not about other people. They're about us. And we don't fully grasp everything that's going on there either. A few years ago, I decided, you know what? It is time to go on vacation with my wife to Hawaii. I promised her when we were first married that I was going to take her to Hawaii by the time she was 30. And, well, I was 9 years late, but we made it there and we visited. We went to the Pahoa area on the Big Island because one of our neighbors owned a house out there and I had learned about it from him, and we had the opportunity to stay there. And that's kind of what made the opportunity possible for us. And that was such a neat vacation to take. And after coming back home, I just couldn't get it out of my head that, you know what? There's no reason why we couldn't live there at some point. We should think about that. And it just stayed with me, and it never went away. And after talking about it with my wife, the question always came up, yes, that sounds great, but how though? How are we going to do that? How could that possibly take place? But we just stayed with the thought. We stayed with the desire. We let the desire germinate. We kind of fanned the flames, as it were. Fanned the flames of that dream. And it really started to take hold. So we thought about it for a good year before deciding that, yes, we're going to do it. And so we planned, after thinking about it for a year, we planned for a solid year on how we were going to do it, the different things that we would have to handle. We knew that changing schools would be a challenge. It might require changing jobs. We'd have to move the cars over there, most likely. Check into the cost of that. Just all the little things that would possibly pop into your head if one of your friends or family told you they were going to move off the mainland and go to an island. All the thoughts that would pop into your head, those popped into our head too. And as we got closer and closer to our intended date, as we picked a date and decided when it was going to happen, certain things started falling into place as to where we were going to live and how that was going to be arranged. And that was its own type of miracle as to how that all came into place. But if we hadn't been speaking about it and making it known to people that we were going to do it, that miracle of the house situation falling into place never would have happened. So I'm very grateful that we were vocal about it, but it created some discomfort in Not only ourselves, because we started to get scared as we got closer to it, but our family and friends got scared about it and even tried to talk us out of doing it. So, and that's completely normal for that type of thing to happen. We all have a lower brain that's priority is to protect us and keep us safe. And it will always put up lots of red flags about things that are unknown, things that present challenges and variables. So it totally makes sense that that would happen. So if you've ever pursued something, you know this to be the case. And it doesn't mean that it's the wrong decision. It just means that our brain's programming is flaring up and is supposed to do that to keep us alive. But if you want to pursue your dreams, you have to learn to push through the discomfort of that. And so ultimately, we needed to be prayerful about this too, which we were. And when it was coming up to the point where I knew that if we were going to pull this off in the time frame that we had decided and wanted to, it became apparent based on our circumstances that I was going to have to part ways with my employer at the time. So it was just kind of tricky, and that was the biggest fear factor for us, because the one constant thing that we had had in our lives for 12 years was that same employer. So we were about to part ways with the one constant in our lives. And that's when it got really scary. But we prayed really hard about this one night. And the following day, I went into the Taylorsville, Utah temple for the first time and had a very special, inspiring experience that just let me know, yes, you are to pursue it. You're being afraid, and you can allow that to get in your way, or you can push through it. So we pushed through it. And I'm so glad that we did. I'll attempt to explain why. The thing is we have grown so much in the last 10 months that we've been here in ways that we never could have if we had stayed the same. If we kept everything the way it was, we would have obtained another year of experience doing the same exact thing that we were doing before. And that does not foster the kind of growth that happens when we make changes. It's not the only way to grow, and yes, we would have grown. There are changes that just come with life in general that provide those opportunities. But we have grown and gained so much experience in these last 10 months. It feels like we have 3 years of experience that we've gained compared to years past. And it hasn't all been easy. It's not all Hawaiian rainbows and dolphins and whales and lava, all of which we have seen. It is more difficult to live in Hawaii than the mainland. And we knew that on paper, but we just have developed such a love and respect for the people that have been born here, raised here, have lived and breathed Hawaii their entire lives. And they know all too well what it's like. And this is paradise, but to live in paradise you end up paying the paradise tax, so to speak. And it's such a dynamic, versatile, adaptive population of people from all over the world that live here. And I just tip my hat and all the respect. It's such a beautiful place. We've enjoyed all the things that we wanted to enjoy. And we've also had the privilege and honor to experience the challenge of living here as well. And it's just a small sliver. You know, it's only been 10 months. But I am so glad we are here, so glad that we did this. Our dreams deserve our attention. That's the thing. And the only person that is qualified to pursue your dreams is you. You're the only person that understands what you want. And you might not even fully understand why, but you understand it in a way that only you can, and therefore it is on you to orchestrate the pursuing of that dream. And we can have more than one dream. It's okay. And I think we need that. The best thing that I have learned about moving here and pursuing this is that it's really gratifying to choose your challenges. So often in life, challenges are presented to us, it seems, by the universe. You know, an illness, an injury, loss of a loved one, loss of employment, any number of things that could happen. And we don't necessarily choose those things, and those are difficult to work through in their own way. But it's very gratifying pursuing your dreams because these are challenges that you are actively embracing and actively selecting. So that feels really good. This will be an investment for us that will pay dividends through our entire life. So I'm so glad that we pursued this dream and are living this. And I really encourage you to do the same for the things that you want in life. I'm so glad that we have shown our kids that it's okay to pursue the things that you want to do. And it's okay for people to not understand why you're doing what you're doing. That was never part of our dream, for other people to understand. Even if we want to understand, we can't really get there. We can never understand why people have the dreams that they do. But we can honor them. And most importantly, honor your own dreams. Do not put them in a corner and close the door.